Hey guys, it's Bro You Whack, and Season 2 is rapidly approaching, and if you guys don't know what's going to be going on in Season 2, it's already been announced that we're going to be getting a new tank hero. And while Season 2 is definitely going to be having more goodies, like a whole new map, a brand new battle pass with a mythic skin, we're mainly going to be focused on the tank. And one thing I used to do back in the day were to make hero idea videos talking about heroes that we desperately need in the game, whether it's because they have great lore potential or because we just need them for gameplay. And as always, leave a comment down below what kind of tank you would love to see, whether it's a hero that's already in the Overwatch universe or just a type of hero, whether it's a shield tank, a dive tank, an animal tank, any sort of tank. And the reason why we're only focusing on tanks today is because, well, we know for a fact a tank is coming out, but I'm sure the hero after this tank hero is probably going to be a support hero because we even need more support heroes than we need tanks. And one of the tank ideas that's actually already in development, confirmed by Jeff Goodman, who is no longer with Blizzard, is Magua. Now, the reason why I really like the idea of Magua is, one, it's another Talon hero. We need to expand the Talon organization because it's pretty small right now. I mean, you got Widow, Reaper, Sombra, Sigma. You actually have quite a bit, and Baptiste technically, but that's what's so great about Magua is that he has ties with Baptiste because they both met while they were in the Talon organization. And we know a lot about Magua and Baptiste's story because there was a comic called What We Left Behind, where this was released right after Baptiste, where it dove deep into his ties with Talon, but also how he met up with his old friend Magua within Talon, but then they soon split up, and then they eventually had a reunion. And if you want to read up more on Magua's lore, you can totally read the What We Left Behind comic, but as terms of the actual gameplay, obviously, he's probably the biggest and beefiest tank out of all the heroes that I'll be talking about in this video, because when you look at him side by side, he's just like this gigantic Hulk-like character, and that's the type of hero that I would think would be amazing to have in Overwatch 2, is just another brute boy. This tank is for all the people that don't have any brain cells, that have no thinky, that just go in and do damage. They kill, punch, hurt. Like, the way that I see Magua being played is the combination of Hammond if he had Doomfist gauntlets. Like, let's say you have like machine guns in your arms, but at the same time, you could also just punch at the same time with those guns. I want that type of hero. Someone that could just get down and dirty and just command the front line in a very scary and intimidating way. And who knows, maybe that could feed into maybe a passive ability where you do double the amount of damage whenever you punch against shields. Not shield tanks necessarily, but just the shield itself. That way you have a tank that could easily counter the shields, because as of right now, you know, there's a few, but mainly DPS are responsible for cracking shields. But now you can have a tank that can burn a Ryan shield, a Sigma shield, a Winston bubble, anything. But again, those are just some fun ideas. Like, the whole point of this video is to mainly talk about the characters, the lore, what we already know. And what we already know about Magua is that, well, he has heavy ties with Talon and Baptiste, and his original hero kits that was designed for him then went to a hero called Sigma. And that's why I suggest him being a possible tank in the future, is because, well, he already fits the Overwatch universe, and he's also an interesting character that I think could have a really fun tank kit. But here is another tank idea, or possibly 4 tank ideas. The Meka squad is one of my favorite hero concepts when it comes to not even just tanks, but just possible heroes, because when it comes to the Meka squad, I would love to see an oversized DPS hero, kind of similar to how Bastion is right now, in the form of one of these pilots. But the pilot that I love the most, that I would love to see come to life, is this hero called D.mon. D.mon is one of the pilots in the Meka squad, and I would describe her as probably D.va's arch nemesis, or at least her rival, because she grew up in high school with D.va, where they were in the same StarCraft or same esports team. I don't think it was StarCraft, and I could see that just causing a lot of like animosity or hatred towards D.va being in second place and always getting overshadowed by the girl Hannah Song. And that's the kind of lore that I just eat up. I absolutely love arch nemesis. Like, I love the soldier and Reaper trope. I also love the Ashe and Cole Cassidy, even though like they were gang members, but now they're arch rivals. And I feel like D.va and D.mon, this is the perfect opportunity to have that same type of like rivalry, but more importantly, expand on D.va's story, because when you look at all these heroes, you know, it makes sense as to why they're in Overwatch. But when you look at D.va, she just came literally out of nowhere. The reason why she's like talked about so much is because so many people love her like in real life. She's the most popular hero, I'd argue, in the real world. But when it comes to her story, it is very random. So to have someone like D.mon to come in and be like the arch rival of D.va, I think think could help not only expand the story, but also provide a hero that could be the polar opposite in terms of gameplay, where D.va is very aggressive, always diving, but D.mon is staying back, protecting your team, possibly another shield tank in the form of a Meka hero. When it comes to D.mon, I could literally talk about her for hours. In fact, I already did, because I made a video talking about her a long time ago and why I would love to see her be a playable hero. But there are other tanks that I'd love to see also come into Overwatch 2, most notably this random Talon, Omnic, very creepy guy at the end of Storm Rising. Now, when it comes to heroes like D.mon and Magua, there's not only lore, but also a little bit of backstory of what their hero kit could look like. When it comes to this hero, we only have a couple of seconds from an in-game Overwatch campaign mission, so it really doesn't tell us a lot as to what this hero could play like, or what this hero even is. Like, is it an Omnic? Is it a human? What we do know is that boy is big. Ain't no way he's a support here. There's just no way. But that's probably the biggest reason as to why I speculate that this hero could be a playable tank, is the fact that he's already animated within Overwatch, like within the game. For D.mon and Magua and the Meka squad, they're maybe hinted within the game, but they're not fully animated and sculpted and structured under the Overwatch engine. So to make those assets and to not make a hero out of those assets, I think would be a complete waste. Now, in terms of the story, this is where it could get very interesting, because he is working with Doomfist, where he was seen on Temple of Anubis, where he was looking all snazzy in his white coat, and then they pan to him and he removes his hood. So clearly he's either a part of the Talon organization or he's working with the people within the Talon organization. He is the evil guy, and I don't think that's misconstrued, because, well, look at him. He just looks like an evil doer. And honestly, after like, what, 4 good characters, like technically Baptiste was good and bad, but after definitely 3 good characters, we need an evil character to either expand Talon or just to be another evil doer within Overwatch. But for the final tank idea, this is a character that hasn't even been created yet, and this is where we let our imagination run wild and talk about characters that we would love to see. Now, I know when it comes to tanks, I know so many people will talk about if it needs a shield, if it should dive, it should be more passive, but when it comes to me, I really look forward to the actual character and the design, and one thing that I would love to see is another animal character. I mean, the last one that we got is Hammond, and rightfully so, because there's so many regions in the world that has to be represented. Like, we haven't gotten a Romanian hero or an Italian hero. Like, there's so many parts of the world that should be represented in the form of heroes, but let's not forget that what makes Overwatch so unique is that we have heroes like a talking scientist in the form of Winston, or a talking hamster with a wrecking ball. So maybe a hyena character, or something that I also talked about in the past is a land shark with actual missiles and a harpoon as a weapon. You know, things like that could just get the blood pumping, that when you see that, it's like, yeah, I want to play that hero. Yeah! Who knows? Maybe we can have a tank that's a little bit more passive and a little bit more loving, like Echo and Mercy. That would be very, very unique in terms of playing them, but who knows what we're going to see when it comes to the next hero in Season 2. All we know is it's going to be a tank, and it's probably going to be really, really cool, because this is another tank that's designed for 5v5. But let me know what tank you would love to see, and I'll see you guys later. I love you guys. Thank you guys for watching. More Overwatch 2 videos to come, and bye.